how do you, with your purview and seeing all these groups and these service, how can we as a community do better at coming together so that all the services, because, there's, like I said, it surprises me sometimes in our county. There's a lot of people who are serving and a lot of things happening. I don't know if you see the same thing or if that it's accurate, but it feels like sometimes it's disparate and we almost need to bring them together. How do we do that as a community?
That, I believe that's a huge challenge facing all of us who, whether we provide direct services or we're just a part of the problem solving of our community's issues. My background, I didn't really go into it, but at the state attorney's office, when I started, as I mentioned, I was a domestic violence prosecutor. And then some years later, I was promoted to chief of our domestic violence unit. So I served for about 13 years, I believe it was, as chief of domestic violence for Palm Beach County. And there were so many people that had such great resources and services to provide to victims. It was often really hard to know everything that existed.
Right.
One of the things that we ended up creating was a coalition. We had a group of domestic violence stakeholders, people who had skin in the game, who wanted to make sure that we were, looking at everything from how batterers intervention programs were being administered and as well as, looking at services for victims and families. And we would come together and we meet. And I think that's really the only true way, or like we do at CJC, that's the only true way to really make sure that everyone comes to the table. We're outside of our silos and we work together for the greater good. And when we have those meetings, it's not about ego. It's not about my service is better or more important or we're more successful. It's really about working together for the benefit of our residents.
I love that. It is, it's funny that this was, I recently got to be at a CJC, a large meeting, and it was my first time, even though Dr. Doskal's been, spent so many years and dedicated so much time to that. That was actually the first time that I ever got there. And it blew me away that all of these different, services were there, where they were coming together.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense that more of that is what we need, like the services coming together, letting go of the silos. And like you said, not saying I've got the answer or you've got the answer, but together we do. I love that.